If you constantly feel disconnected to your own self and you feel emotionally drained even when you wake up, and you wake up, you have a constant feeling that I'm not connected to my own self, my body, emotionally you're drained, you have so much stress and anxiety when you wake up, and you have been noticing that you are not in the present moment because you're already thinking about what next you have to do, how's your day going to be, and it's constant negative emotions coming up. Then take a moment to notice that how you can get in control of your own self. The thing that has helped me is called grounding. And there are different types of grounding practices you can do. What grounding practices is coming back to your own self. And there are different ways you can do so just to call back your energy to your own self and to the present moment. If you are scrolling down, stressing about a lot of things, and you're attending events or attending some parties or doing something out of your regular routine, and then you think that, why do I feel this disconnected? It is because you're never actually doing what you need to do to fulfill your soul. You're just doing the worldly things that you need to do in order to survive, which is called flight and fight mode. But to connect to your own self and connect back to nature is called grounding, essentially. When you notice that if you attend a social event or you go to a party or you do something in a public setting or you go out and do something, you feel so much drained the next day. You will feel, even after you leave, you feel so much drained. You feel that the next day is a recovery day because you had a drink or anything like that. That actually means that is not fulfilling to your soul. That is just fulfilling for the moment. And I'm not saying that you cannot attend that. I'm saying that that's good once in a while. But if you're doing that just to get the fulfillment that you're looking for, then that's not going to happen. That's never going to happen because that's not soul fulfilling. The thing that fulfills our soul is connecting back to our own self. And that's what grounding practices does, is connecting back to your own self. So the one practice that I've been doing is barefoot on the grass in the morning before I go to take shower or go to work. That actually helps me connect to the earth early morning and helps me feel the calm energy of the earth, and I feel part of nature so much so. And there are different ways you can do that. You can do that on a walk, spending time in nature. All these are grounding practices. But what barefoot practice on the grass has done for me personally is it helped me clear my eczema. I had suffered from eczema for so many years, and I've tried so many things, clean diet, clean this, and the creams, which is temporary. Everybody knows there's no cure for that eczema. What actually helped me personally was grounding practices barefoot on the grass. And I had severe eczema on my hands, on my both hands, on my knuckles, and it was gone over time, and I didn't even notice. I didn't actually notice it was gone. The fact that over the time I realized that it's my connection back to my source, I felt so much joy and so much calm and peace that I don't care about what I am getting out of it. It's just my reconnection, my soul recharge that I'm doing. But there are different ways you can do that, and you need to be willing to do it every single day. No matter how small of a practice it is, but it needs to be a soul recharge. See, as I talked about attending an event or a party and you feel drained the next day, have you noticed if you go on a walk, if you spend time in nature, have you ever felt drained the next day? Once you finish your trip to nature, you feel drained? No, your soul feels recharged. You feel like, when could I go back to that event? Because that's your recharge. That's not something that is draining to you. So you have to feel that what is fulfilling for my soul rather than what is fulfilling in the moment. If you're doing some practice and you feel like this has helped me over the years, please share it with me. Like, I would love to hear the stories. But essentially, there are certain practices that you can do to connect back to your own self. The first one I already shared is there is meditation, which is grounding back to your own self. There is journaling. You could journal your thoughts and your emotion, and that will help big time. Social media consumption. Limit your social media consumption to some hours. Like, only do it for certain hours. Remember the time when we had no phones? Remember the time when we had no social media? We were still living in that world. I am saying that on social media because this is a platform I can reach more people. But it is kind of draining when you're seeing and like scrolling early in the morning. Like, your subconscious mind is active, and what you're feeding it is going straight into your subconscious mind. And you want to be very cautious of what you're doing with your subconscious mind, because you're actually training yourself how to become. So that is kind of the practices that you could do. You could do cold showers. You could do walk, as I said, in nature. You could do breathing practices. All these practices are part of grounding yourself and recharging your soul. And it is very important that we realize that the world that is constructed today, it wasn't like that years ago. And we had less stress, we had less anxiety, we had less depression rates, we had all those mental health less in percentage because we had less stimulation around us. And there's a reason that we need to realize that stimulation around us is controlling us, and we need to take back our control. And remember what you're consuming, even on social media or on television, because if you go to sleep watching a horror movie, then you know that your subconscious mind is playing that movie in your head. And what your subconscious mind is going to play is going to replay in your life. Or anything that you're watching, and just give an example of horror movie, because it has happened with me. So, but I stopped consuming something that is not uplifting for my soul, for me personally, because I realized that it is affecting me, and I shouldn't be doing something that is not uplifting to myself. See what results it brings over time when you practice certain things with your connection to your own self. And you will feel the peace, calm, quiet. With all of that, you will feel fulfilled in your life. And it is coming from somebody who practices soul recharge more than stimulation. I want to give this message because I feel it is really important in today's world that we realize that this is something we need to take control back from. So hope this message helps, and you could share this with somebody who needs to hear this. And have yourself a nice day. That was everything from my end. Thank you.